Alright, during class we talked about what a variable is and what a symbol is, and we also practiced isolating the variables, getting the variables all by itself. So we know that variables, they can be letters like A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and all the other letters in the alphabet, and they also can be letters in the Greek alphabet. Right now what we're going to do, we're going to go over the first couple problems of your math homework of 01 HW1 solving equations. Now the first problem is 3 plus A. So 3 plus A equals negative 3. And what we're going to do, our goal is to get that variable A all by itself, for it to be an A equals, and then some number on the right hand side or some expression on the right hand side. Our goal though, to get A all by itself. So how do we go about doing that? Well, we're going to use our inverse operations, aka the opposites. That's what the inverse is, the opposites. So if this is a positive 3, put a little positive sign there. Positive 3, to move that positive 3 to the other side of the equal sign, we use the inverse operation. So the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. And we got to subtract 3 from both sides of that equal sign. When we do that, positive 3 and negative 3, they cancel out. We carry down the positive A. And it's going to be equal to negative 3 minus 3, which gets us negative 6. So we have A equals negative 6. And that will be our answer, which is C on the homework. Just to recap all those steps, what we're given, the problem that we're given is given. 3 plus A equals negative 3. Then we subtracted 3 from both sides of the equal sign. So we subtracted 3 from both sides of the equation, or of the equal sign. And then we have the solution, which is A equals negative 6, which is option C for number 1 of the homework. Next problem that we're going to do will be problem number 3. Alright, next up is problem number 3. And number 3 says n divided by 5 is equal to 3. Now our goal is to get n all by itself. So how do we go about doing that? Well, we use our inverse operations. The inverse operation of divide by 5 is times 5. So you're going to multiply by 5 on the left hand side and on the right hand side. So the problem is given. And then we multiplied by 5 to both sides of the equation. N divided by 5 and then times 5, they cancel each other out. So you're just going to have n equals, and then 3 times 5 gets you 15. And what that is our solution. Which is option C for problem number 3. Next problem that we're going to do is problem number 6. Okay, with problem number 6, we have negative 12m equals negative 12. Now, negative 12m, that's really negative 12 times m. There's like a little multiplication symbol in between. Now, the inverse operation for times is divide. So what we're going to do, we're going to divide both sides by negative 12. Negative 12 times m divided by negative 12. Well, negative 12 divided by negative 12 is 1. Carry down our m, because it's 1m. It's equal to negative 12 divided by negative 12 gets you 1. Now the 1m, that's just 1 times anything as itself. We could actually just get rid of the 1. And it's just be m. So m equals 1. And that'll be option D for problem number 6. To review the steps, the problem, that's just given to us, so we write given. Divide by negative 12 was the next step we did. To both sides of the equation. And our final little step here was our solution, m equals 1. Next we'll do problem number 7. Alright, so problem number 7, we have negative 13 plus v equals negative 28. Our goal is to get v all by itself. And we're going to use inverse operations to do it. So now, you have to remember that the sign comes before the number. Those two belong together, the negative and the 13. This plus sign goes with the v. So in fact, when we're moving this 13 to the other side, it's negative 13. We have to use this sign and number to move things over. So if this is a negative 13, the inverse operation will be plus 13. And we're going to do that to both sides of the equation. Now notice I put the positive 13 right below the negative 28. The reason why I put it just below that number is because they're like terms. Notice the 13 doesn't have a v or a v squared or any other letter, and the 28 doesn't have any letters after it. So they actually go together since they both don't have a letter. The v, well, there's a v. Technically there's an imaginary 1 there, a plus 1v, but we know from previous math experience that we don't have to write a 1. So the problem was given to us. We then added 13 to both sides of the equation. Negative 13 and 13, they add up to 0, so we don't bother writing 0. We carry down our v, the plus v, because it's a positive v. And it's equal to, well, negative 28 plus 13 gets you negative 15. Thus we have our answer, v equals negative 15. Which is D in the multiple choice. And that's our solution. Now that we went through a problem of each type on the homework on 01, HW1, solving equations, it is your job to go through the whole rest of the equations and complete all the other equations. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them during class or come to extra help. All right, now, have a good night.